My friends! Now, I bet you guys have heard all about Kaleb Nation's new book, Harken. The advertising for it is pretty much everywhere, 90% of which is posted by Kaleb Nation. And there's nothing wrong with that. He had a really cool tactic, actually, of promoting Harken, and it was really cool. It was a really cool process that got the future readers involved, and it was what got me interested initially. But anyway, Mr. Nation sent me an ARC of Harken, so I got to finish it a couple weeks ago. What a good way to end my Christmas vacation, with tears. When I started reading Harken, I didn't really know what to expect. What seems to be the initial premise of the book is super cool, but you just don't know where it's going to go. So I'm reading this thing and I get about, 20 pages in and I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. This is interesting. You'll probably think that too. Give it 10 more pages. And then it's like, what? Okay, wait. And then you think you figured it out again. You think you know where this is going again. You think you've got it all down. You are Siri and this world is your iPhone. Give it 20 more pages. What? Oh my gosh. First of all, such an awesome book. Congratulations, Kaleb. I loved Bran Hambrick. That's another series he wrote. It was a children's series, and it's so good, by the way. And I just couldn't imagine Kaleb Nation writing young adult fiction because I, wasn't used to that. Where's this gonna go? What is he gonna do? I've never seen him write young adult fiction. And it was so good! First of all, Harken is an action story. How many decent action books are out there in general? Very many. How many decent, action-based young adult fiction books are there out there? Even less. The common problem with an action-based plot, and this is for films, for books, for anything, is that most authors have a problem getting a plot in there. You know what I mean? You've all seen those action movies where it's just like boom and pretty colors and fights and yeah, that was really awesome. What was the plot? Not that I'm going to name any examples, Transformers. And there's nothing wrong with those, but they're not really satisfying. They're satisfying while you're watching them, while you're watching giant robots blow each other up or whatever. But in the end, you come out of the movie theater or you come out of this book and you're just like, okay. So that's the really hard part about writing an action-based book. It's the same thing. You can use a lot of pretty adjectives and boom and colors and explosions and death and blood and craziness. But, I think we can all agree that a plot is pretty essential to a novel. And Kaleb Nation did a great job. The plot of Harken is absolutely insane. Look at this kid. Does he really look like he could write something that is just gonna make you sob and is super twisted and crazy? Like, freaking, you're like a hobbit. It makes me wonder about you, Kaleb. Makes me wonder. I think you might be secretly insane. But then, all authors may be secretly insane. They do have fictional people talking to them in their head all the time. Anyway, back to Harken. So the plot is great. I don't want to give too much away, mostly because I don't know how to comment on it without giving away everything. And you know me, normally I don't care about spoilers, but since this was an ARC and I technically got it way before other people, I need to, Let's talk about the characters for a second. The main character is Michael, and I freaking love Michael's character. You know why? Because you don't love him all the time. And I like a character that challenges me, that makes me angry, that makes me sad, that makes me want to yell at them. There were moments where I really liked Michael, and I was like, yeah, you go, Michael Asher. And then there were moments where I was like, oh my goodness, no. Which is great, because I liked him all around. I liked that. I liked that interaction between reader and character. That is hard to do. To spark a chemistry between the reader and the character, that's tough. Once again, great job, Kaleb Nation. I really loved Michael. I also really wanted to slap Michael. So that's that connection, He challenges you. He makes you feel a lot of feelings. And then there are the other characters. That's Thad or Tad, I don't really know. I called him Thad. And Callista, who are both really interesting. I thought they would turn out to be kind of the, supporting characters we're all used to, a few witty remarks here and there, but, lacking in substance. And it's not that I don't have faith in the author, it's just that that's what I've grown used to. and I was pleasantly surprised. I loved their characters. Again, they're challenging characters. They make you feel a variety of emotions. This is a roller coaster here. It's not just, yeah, I really like this guy. Oh yeah, he's great. Or, oh yeah, this guy's kind of a douchebag. And then I really, really need to talk about the villains. Wow. I mean, wow. First of all, super unique. I've never read a book where the villains are like this. Secondly, you know when you read about an evil villain and they're just so stereotypically evil that it's like, oh, brother. You know, they have no motivation. They're just kind of terrible for the sake of being terrible. Not so with Harkin. These guys are freaky. Like, after I finished Harkin, I had a nightmare the next night because of these guys. They're freaky. And it's also hard to write a good villain, so again, way to go, Kaleb Nation. It's just, I can't, it's so hard not to spoil things. There was so much I loved about it. The pacing was perfect and the premise was unique and great. And it's amazing when you get thrown into this fictional world, you know, something you will never experience in your lifetime because we don't have evil demon lizard people. Or do we? Am I allowed to say that? Is that a spoiler? Sorry, Kaleb. And yet you still feel a connection. It still feels relevant to you. Like I said, that chemistry between the characters and a reader is a very hard thing to achieve. It's pretty easy to be a detached reader. I, for one, have read plenty of books where, yeah, that was a nice story, but, you know, I didn't really get into it. So there's two options. You either force yourself into it, very hard to do, or you get sucked in against your will. Harken. This book was incredible. Congratulations, Kaleb Nation, on your first young adult novel. You did a great job. There aren't a lot of action-based novels that I would reread, but I will reread Harkin. In fact, I am rereading it right now. It's just so good. It's substantial in my reading life. Like, I will be buying a hard copy of this and putting it on my shelf, and I only buy hard copies of books that I really, really love. I am so excited for the next book. I am terrified to know what happens next. You know, excited, but terrified. Oh my goodness. Harkin. Freaking Harkin.